Okay, let's unpack this. Today, we're taking a deep dive into something that, well, it touches millions of lives, but often stays kind of hidden. The huge personal sacrifices foreign workers make, especially those leaving home for places like the Gulf.
Exactly. And to really get a sense of the human scale here, we're zooming in on one specific story. It's based on an account we have of a woman named Shyla,
Shale, right, a single mother.
a single mother, yes, and her incredibly tough decision to find work far away from her home country.
So our mission really is to try and understand the kind of pressure, the, the circumstances that push someone to make a choice like that, leaving everything, especially family. It's massive.
It really is. And this account it gives us a glimpse. It tells us she was supporting 3 kids on her own.
3 kids, wow.
Yeah. And the situation described sounds, well, desperate. You know, kids going hungry, constantly having to borrow money just to get by.
Ugh, that constant struggle.
And facing rejection after rejection for local jobs. Plus, and this is key, having absolutely no support system, no family, no community help, just her.
That complete of a safety net.
Mm.
It sounds absolutely crushing. How do you even cope with that?
Well, the source actually takes us inside her head a bit. It describes her hitting a breaking point.
Okay.
And there's this line, something she apparently whispered to herself, which is just incredibly heavy. It says, if I don't leave, I'll lose everything, even myself.
Wow. Lose everything, even myself. That really hits home, doesn't it? It's not just about survival anymore.
Right. It's existential. The pressure was threatening her very sense of self. But what's striking is, despite that fear, the account points to her main driver for leaving.
Which was?
It says, basically, that her hope for her children was louder than the fear in her chest.
Hope louder than fear. That's,
Mhm.
yeah, that says a lot. It wasn't a light decision, clearly, driven by love for her kids.
Absolutely. And the source kind of pushes us to think about that,
Yeah.
What makes a mother trade comfort, language, her homeland? Why do that?
Yeah, what forces that kind of trade-off? It seems unthinkable unless,
Unless the alternative is worse, right? And the source suggests it's not about seeking adventure. It implies she was seeking something else, maybe dignity.
dignity. Explain that a bit.
Well, earning dignity for herself by being able to provide, and giving her kids a shot at dignity too, lifting them out of that poverty, that lack of opportunity back home.
So the work itself, even far away in potentially tough conditions, becomes the way to achieve that. Access things like education, basic needs.
Exactly. It becomes the means to build some kind of future. And the account is very clear. Shyla didn't want this path. She felt compelled. It was a response to having basically no other viable options left at home.
Okay, so it boils down to pure necessity then. Not desire, but the urgent need to make sure her kids could survive and maybe, just maybe, have a better future than she could offer staying put.
Precisely. For Shyla, and likely for many others in similar situations working abroad, maybe in the Gulf or elsewhere, it's presented as the absolute last resort. It's what happens when every other door seems closed.
So bringing this together, Shyla's story, just one account. Yeah, but it shines a light, doesn't it? It shows how extreme desperation, that complete lack of opportunity at home, can be this powerful, almost invisible force driving these huge sacrifices.
It really underscores the sheer weight of deciding to leave your kids, your family, everything you know. Clinging to the hope that working miles away can somehow secure their future, can, like we said, earn dignity when it felt impossible back home.
Yeah, it definitely makes you stop and think, what must things be like? What level of hardship exists? Where leaving everything behind feels like the only way forward, the only path to survival, to hope. That's
Yeah.
something to really sit with.